Welcome to Curtis Goes Corner, coming to you from a secret underground base in occupied America. From PJ Media, breaking: Ron DeSantis suspends presidential campaign and makes endorsement of Donald Trump. Well, he's officially out. First, let's look at the statement from the governor. His statement that he made on Twitter. Let's look at it now. Here's part of it.
Now, following our second place finish in Iowa, we've prayed and deliberated on the way forward. If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
Now, good for him. There's no path forward. I'm not going to be a spoiler. I think he sat down. He should have made this decision. Well, first of all, he shouldn't have ran. But I'll go into that later. After his showing in Iowa, that was the first, wasn't really a primary, but a caucus, the first show of support from the party. And he saw the handwriting on the wall. I'll give him that. I still like Ron DeSantis, but he just wasn't ready for the national stage, even though he got a lot of national attention. Let's listen to the rest, and then we'll read the article.
I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had
yes, resistance and lawfare. He's saying the right things. Does he personally believe them? Probably. I'm not so sure, and that's the part that Republicans are going to have to figure out. Now, we'll listen to the rest of we'll read the article, and I'll give you what my thoughts are.
Disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci, Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents.
I think that's enough. I think that's said. There's an old expression I learned years ago. It's the same soup, just reheated. The John McCain's, rest in peace, have to be respectful of the people that have passed. And Mitt Romney Republicans, their day is over. And good, I'm glad. For a long time, I was a local elected official as a Democrat. I left the party over 10 years ago. And it was the McCains and the Romneys that kind of kept me away from switching parties, even though I probably should have. But enough about that. Let's check out the article here. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspended his campaign on Sunday ahead of the New Hampshire primary on Tuesday. Over the past many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country to deliver a message of hope that decline is a choice and that we, in fact, can succeed again as a nation. Nobody worked harder, and we left it all out in the field. Now, following our second place finish, we have prayed and deliberated on the way forward. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path. Accordingly, I'm suspending my campaign. And he goes on to what he said, in the video. The timing of this announcement may come as a surprise to many, but DeSantis had seemingly conceded New Hampshire in order to have a strong showing in South Carolina, Nikki Haley's home state, where she served as governor. A second place finish to DeSantis in the state might have ended Haley's campaign, but it was still quite clear that Republican voters overwhelmingly wanted Trump to finish what he started in the first term. And a viable path to winning the necessary delegates was too much to overcome. By dropping out now, it is likely that DeSantis supporters will back Trump over Haley, crushing her chances in New Hampshire. Now, I do have to say, in all fairness, Nikki Haley is the Democrat choice for the Republican nomination. There absolutely is no question about it. Nikki Haley will do better in South Carolina, which is coming up, because she used to be governor there. It's her home state. Everybody has dirt in their past, so I'm not too much concerned about that. It's what her policies are. She is the polished version of the old John McCain, Mitt Romney Republicans. The Republican Party that just stands there and watches as the Democrats just steamroll over them, having no backbone, no balls, no guts. That party has been stepped on and stepped over and just ruined by the ultra left because those people are relentless. We have a Republican nominee, former President Trump, that uses their own tactics against them, stands right in there in the mud with the pigs. And to many Republicans, if not all of them, that's simply not worth it. And that's been the secret of his success. Trump has my endorsement, said DeSantis went on. We can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed over corporatism. Yeah, same soup, just reheated. That Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology is over. Let's pray. DeSantis dropping it out should clear an easy path for Donald Trump to win the nomination. Despite his endorsement, it remains to be seen whether DeSantis will join Trump on the campaign trail to help unite the party behind him. I think he won't for a while. I think as things get farther along, I don't think it's going to matter what, as far as DeSantis goes, what the results of the trials, the civil and criminal trials of Trump. He's going to get convicted of at least one of them. They have to have their scalp. The Democrats cannot let him walk away. There's absolutely no way they could use up all this media time and tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to get President Trump and then let him off the hook. They're going to nail him on the sexual assault, civil trial for probably $10 million, I think it was, from that nutbar woman. And then they're going to take away his business license, or try to, in New York, for inflating the value of his properties, which is totally ridiculous and asinine. And they'll appeal all of them, but they're trying to delay the criminal indictments until after the Trump, because they want to get this done long before the convention of the Republican Party. They want Trump out. I think that's Nikki Haley's, well, that's her plan. And I'll hang in there as long as possible. And when Trump is forced out because he's indicted for a felony, I'll be the heir apparent. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. DeSantis expressed gratitude to his family and his supporters who stood by his side, emphasizing the extraordinary efforts of volunteers who braved the blizzard in Iowa to knock on doors and make phone calls, a testament to their unwavering commitment. Winston Churchill once remarked, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." While this campaign has ended, the mission continues. Down here in Florida, we will continue to show the country how to lead. Now that DeSantis is out, it's time for the Republicans to unite behind Donald Trump. Make no mistake about it, the radical left is terrified that they're going to lose the 2024 election and is trying every scheme possible, and that's true. I mean, even things I wouldn't even have thought of in my wildest dreams, to hold on to the White House. Here on PJ Media, we'll continue to expose these attacks to our democracy, and then go on to promote their website, Fighting Back Censors, and it's all true. I feel bad. I was never really angry around DeSantis for challenging Trump. I'm a little peeled that Nikki Haley is, since she used to work for him. I think that's ridiculous. She had no business, but she is the Democrat choice for the Republican nominee. Make no mistake about it. That's one thing DeSantis never was. Now, as far as DeSantis, did he destroy his seed corn, so to speak, for the farmers? Did he do everything possible to ruin his future and roll the dice? Maybe. I'm not so sure. People have short memories. He has, I believe, until 2027 is the end of his term as governor, and he's term limited out. What is his future? It depends. It's going to depend on what Trump does, how he handles it. And Donald Trump has enthusiastically, in fact, he even said he'll stop using the term "the sanctimonious." It's just like anything else. You look at Kamala Harris during the Democratic debates in 2020, when she didn't insinuate that Joe Biden was a racist. She come right out and said it, and later became his VP choice. I don't like the way the game is played. I don't like those kind of attacks, but you have to be a pragmatist. And I think that's what Ron DeSantis did. Now, maybe some of his PAC money was drying up, a lot of different reasons. I like that he said that him and his wife prayed on it. I think that was very well done on his part. I think they really and truly did. I don't think that's rhetoric. I think DeSantis's brand, so to speak, has been tarnished, but I don't think it's fatal for him. It's going to depend what happens, like anything else. It depends how he handles and endorses, and if he goes around campaigning for President Trump, how he handles the Democrats going after him now. But they didn't before because they wanted Trump out, but now they'll come after him even harder because he's not working against Trump. He's working with him or for him. We're going to see. But people have short memories. They truly, truly do. I mean, look at Hillary Clinton got the nomination, even though she cheated and bent the rules of the Democratic Party to push Bernie Sanders out. And the Bernie bros were furious. Trump is not doing that. President Trump is not twisting the rules, making things go his way. He's using the normal procedures to get the nomination. And for that, I give him credit. Is the Republican Party going to clean up its act? Are they going to get rid of Ronnie McDaniel, who is just horrible as an RNC chairperson? Just horrible. Taking money out of Senate races a couple of years ago. Therefore, the Republicans never got the slim majority in the Senate, which would have saved so much trouble and so much money and so much pain and misery for the American people, but instead had a 50-50 tie, and Kamala Harris was the tiebreak. Rodney McDaniel is personally responsible for that. They need new leadership. But when these changes occur, just like the Democrat Party, when the progressive Democrats took over, it was messy and ugly. And many of the mainstream Democrats either kept their mouths shut or walked away. We'll see what happens with the changing of the guard in the Republican Party. But the days of the Mitt Romney, John McCain Republican Party, I believe, are over. For good or ill, we'll have to see. What are your thoughts? I think he did the right thing. Being Governor DeSantis did the right thing. We'll see how he handles it from here. And that will be the important part. Whether he's a bitter loser or he puts on his big boy pants and said, listen, we fell short on this one. Let's do what we can to make sure that Joe Biden is not president of the United States. And I hope that he does. We'll have to see. Being he's the governor of Florida, and that's President Trump's home state, I'm sure they'll be talking and visiting a lot. Mar-a-Lago by West Palm Beach and other places as well. So DeSantis is officially out. Actually, I feel bad for him, to tell you the truth. I feel bad for him. We'll have to see how he handles it. It's how you handle failure that shows what character you have. What are your thoughts? Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.